mile. Guys right has the area.
Roger, we have the area. Hoist operator has the con.
Check guys right out of the con, you clear right, move forward.
Mark, here we are just outside the operations room in the SAR hangar for Cougar. Just kind of walk me through the process when that alarm goes off and you've got to go out on a SAR mission. What's that look like?
Sure. Well, the usual call that we would expect to get would be for something happening offshore, which is our primary customers. That's what we're set up for. So in the morning when we get here, we would have already checked the weather and checked the NOTAMs in the aircraft, checked everything out to make sure that we'll be good to go for launch. So a lot of this work has already been done. So from that point, we're going to spend the next 12 hours somewhere in this building. We could be up eating lunch, we could be doing administrative work, there's a little gym here for us to exercise and stuff like that. So you could be in the process of any of that,
Right.
and then the alarm will go off.
Not like a fireman, really, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're kind of living in the building, kind of just on call, waiting to go.
Yeah, that's right. So when that alarm goes off, we'll have 20 minutes to go from when the alarm goes off to taxiing with the aircraft.
20 minutes from wherever you are in the building
Yeah.
to taxiing the aircraft out.
That's right.
That's a complicated thing. Show me how that works.
Sure, yeah. So like I said, we could be anywhere in the building, and then we're all going to come down and we're going to meet in the operations room right here.
Right on.
we'll
Off we
start
go.
there.
How many on the crew, Mark?
There'll be 5 of us.
5 on the
Yeah,
crew?
we'll
Okay.
have 2 pilots, hoist operator, you get that, and then 2 rescue specialists.
Right.
Yeah.
So 5 of you meet in this room,
Yep.
and what's the process then?
So the captain will head over to his little corner here, and that'll be the flight planning type stuff that we'll talk about in a second. The first officer is going to come into that room, which we'll go in after this, and he'll start getting dressed, get all his gear on. He's going to grab this bag, which has some flight planning stuff. This is like checklists all wrapped up into these iPads here. He's going to grab this bag and his equipment, and he's going to head out to the aircraft. They're going to tow the aircraft out if it's not out already, and he's going to start up the auxiliary power unit, which is just going to fire up all the systems that you need to get ready to start up the aircraft. He's also out there filing a flight plan with ATC, and he's also going to start fueling the aircraft up to our fuel requirements.
Wow.
Because we're going to keep just a basic load of air fuel on the aircraft, because we don't know. We need to figure out if we're going to have enough fuel to go do what we want to do, but at the same time, we can't have too much fuel, because if it ends up being something that's only 30 miles away and we show up at max gross weight and we need to lift people up in a helicopter, we'll be too heavy to do that.
It's quite a balance there in the moment, right?
There is,
Once you
yeah.
find out.
Yeah, and we have a tool that I'll show you here momentarily that helps us figure that stuff out.
Wow. So one guy is getting all the information together, the other one's getting out and getting the aircraft ready, rolling it out, all set to go.
Yeah.
Even the fueling process would take time. Those are minutes ticking, right?
Yep, that's right, and that is all, again, sort of a coordinated effort that's happening outside, while inside here, the rescue specialists, same thing, they're all getting dressed, getting the equipment that they need based on what the call is, and
Right.
they're going to be heading out to the aircraft as well.
Because of course, if you're going offshore, that's a whole different kit setup than if you're going into the woods somewhere, right?
That's right. So if we end up getting a call, say the province needs us to go anywhere on the island or Labrador, then that kind of opens up a whole new ball game where we're going to work. Cougar's going to work in coordination with the Rescue Coordination Center.
Right.
There, that 20 minutes kind of goes out the window,
Uh-huh.
because there's a lot more moving pieces that you got to take into account, and
Right.
a lot more things that you have to coordinate. There's a lot more flight planning that
Okay.
that goes into play.
But if you're going offshore to deal with some of your own issues for your customers, it's pretty straightforward what you got to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me about that. I mean, there's some quick decisions need to be made here.
Yep.
You're gonna need some computing power behind that.
Yep,
How's
that's
that
right.
work?
So the first thing we'll do is the SAR captain will come and he'll have a seat here. He's going to call up our dispatch on, you guys were over there before, were you?
Mhm, yep.
Where the radio operators are. So they'll call up them and they'll get all the details from them as to what the actual emergency is.
Okay.
So they'll give us, basically the biggest things that we're looking from them are distance, location, and how many people we need to pick up.
Okay.
And once we have that information, then we can get on the computer, use flight planning software to file a flight plan with Gander. We'll use the information that they give us to figure out how much fuel we're going to take on.
Right.
And we have a really simple like, Excel spreadsheet that we can plug in some numbers.
Okay.
And that'll kind of spit out a maximum and minimum fuel load that you
Okay.
can bring.
Kind of got to want to get, you need to get that right, eh? Based on how many people you're bringing on, how far it's got to go, and yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So
Yeah.
double check that.
That's almost the biggest worry.
I
Like
was
you
gonna-
obviously don't
yeah.
want to get out there and be like, oh, we don't have enough fuel. Or to
Right.
get out there and have too much fuel and then need to sit there burning
Yeah.
gas while you, I mean, it's all going to work out in the end,
Yeah.
but you definitely want to try and get it right the first time.
That's one of those measure twice, cut once moments, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you go from there. Now you've got the data ready to go. You've passed it on. Say, put this much fuel in. What's the next step?
Yeah, so we've let them know about the fuel. We've got a little radio out there to let them know. And once all of this stuff is kind of set to go, then the captain can then go out and get his gear.
Okay.
And that's when we move into here and start getting dressed and stuff.
So he's not even geared up yet.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So he's in here, the last person in,
That's
geared
right.
up.
Yeah.
He's walking out to an already turning aircraft, or
No,
ready
no.
to go.
No, the AP will be running and they'll be getting the fuel up. That's the because of the stuff that the captain has to do in here, and because of all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, by the time the captain gets out to the aircraft, they're probably still finishing up taking fuel.
Right.
And then at that point, the captain's going to get into the other seat, and then they're going to start up the aircraft.
And it's just a matter of hitting some buttons at that point,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, I got it. Great.
So you go in here, and away we get dressed.
Yeah.
A quick process, I'm assuming, for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It really, like, for myself, it's a lot faster for the pilots than it are for the guys in the back. I mean, just as an example, this is a rescue specialist / hoist operator's gear that he's got to get himself into, and this is my gear. So
Right.
this suit, well, I'll throw on some, something to wear underneath it, throw on this suit, grab the vest, and grab your helmet, and then
And you're
we'll
out
head
the door.
Yeah.
But these guys are kitting up in a whole different
they've-
fashion.
Yeah, they've got a lot more that they got to
Right.
get into.
A
Yeah.
little bit more. They have a little extra time to do it because they're not doing the planning piece.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so from here you kit up and then right out the door.
That's right,
And
yeah.
right into the hangar.
Yeah, exactly.
And right out onto the pad. And you don't even bother taxiing out anywhere. You just go from that point.
No, well, it all depends on the situation.
Right.
Because we could be down to 600 feet visibility. Happens now and then here in St. John's.
Yeah.
Or we could have a day like today when that would be a possibility.
Right.
To just basically get the aircraft started, taxi out so that we're away from the hangars, get ourselves into wind, lift it off, and then hover and go.
And then out to your mission. No more to it than that.
Yeah, if it's a bad weather day, then you're taking off like all the other aircraft out of here and following the normal air traffic control regulations to talk to Gander Center and level off at certain altitudes because there's other players up there too. And then get level off at roughly 5,000 feet, and then just go out as quick as you can towards the search area.
Walk me out to the aircraft, Mark, and just show me, as the captain, like what kind of switches you're hitting
Yeah.
to get it going. I don't want you to start it, obviously.
No,
but
that's right.
Just kind of show me. Yeah.
Sure. Might be a little bit busy right now.
It's
Looks
no
like
trouble.
They're doing
Yeah.
some work. But yeah, so for me, like I said, that most likely this will already be out, getting refueled. Yeah, so you'll already have the aircraft, the APU running, and the fueling taking place. And so the last guy, which will most likely be the captain, he's just going to come out to the aircraft. Just watch your step. There's
Yep.
lots of things to trip on. The ramp will still be open.
Okay, so you'll enter through this way here.
Yeah, so the fueling truck will be here, fueling up the aircraft.
Okay.
And the guys will be getting ready in the back, so we'll just come in. And the first officer will be in the left seat,
Okay.
and then we'll hop into the right seat, and he'll have the checklist and everything all out ready to go, and then he'll just start running through the checklist to get the aircraft started.
And both of you coordinate together, check, check, check.
Yep,
Start
that's
it up
right.
and out you go.
Yeah, exactly.
It took us about 20 minutes to explain this. And you guys are doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
the concurrent activity must be incredibly impressive. Everybody's got a part.
That's what really helps break it down, is that everybody has their part, they know their part, and then you just gotta. It's always going to be a little bit more excitement, of course, when there's a call, because you feel like there's more at stake. Happily, it happens very rarely, of course, here, but when it does, so yeah, you'll be a little bit more amped up, but you just got to get yourself to actually slow down and run through the checklist the way it's written. Take your time with it, that way you don't miss things.
And of course, as a SAR specialist, I mean, you're no stranger to checklists and making sure everything is correct before you go. And I guess that's the key. And training for that is a big part of this whole job, right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
Great.